This is Linda Borden, President of the Easton Library Trustees, and we are having a Zoom meeting of the trustees as allowed by law. The law was just extended till April 15th of this year. So we're meeting by Zoom. This is our annual meeting. It is March 21st, 2022, Easton Library's annual meeting. As we begin, I'd like to announce that our director is Jennifer DiCarlo. Pages for the past year and currently a page are Doris Callahan, Anna Maurice Linpin, and Barbara Skiff. Our Story Hour volunteer organizer and teacher is Nadia Christie. We have an adult volunteer this year, Marty Ellerman. Our student volunteers currently are Abby White, Johanna Linpin, and Owen White. Friends of the library officers are Carol Williams and Pat Kirk. Our current trustees are myself, Linda Borden, Mary Jane Connor, Peter Reed, Nellie Lovendusky, Patricia McPhee, John O'Brien, and Chelsea Henderson. Currently at the meeting, we have Linda Borden, Mary Jane Connor, Peter Reed, Nellie Lewandowski, and Patricia McPhee. Our director is also present. We have some members who are Zooming in, staff and patrons as well. So we'll begin our meeting today with a minutes from the previous annual meeting, which was March 22nd, 2021. Those minutes have been forwarded to all of the trustees. And if somebody would like to make a motion to dispense with the complete reading of those minutes, I would entertain that.
This is Mary Jane. I would like to make a motion to dispense with the reading of the 2021 annual meeting minutes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
And somebody make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
That's accepted by Peter and seconded by?
Patricia can second that.
Patricia, I heard seconded by Patricia. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we'll accept our minutes from March 22nd, 2021's annual meeting as recorded. We'll continue with the treasurer's report. Peter sent us a treasurer's report. Peter, would you like to give a little oral synopsis for the annual treasurer's report?
Of course.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Treasurer's report, I've got a profit and loss sheet and a balance sheet, which will be available at the library if anybody wants a copy of them. For profit and loss, income for our revenue for this year was $81,769. Our expenses came to $62,626, leaving us with a net revenue of $19,142. Balance sheet, total assets on the balance sheet is $229,246 at the end of the year. Now, the balance sheet has gone up approximately $40,000 in the last 2 years, mainly based on COVID. COVID is restricting our access to do things. It's limiting Jennifer's ability to sit there and order books. It's made it very difficult. And also the patrons, because of restrictions coming in. We hope to be able to use some of those funds during this year. I think we'll be better able to have expenses closer or equal to revenue. The revenue, what happened is one of the things we've done is we took $15,000 from our revenue income and moved it over to the capital expense account. Right now, the capital expense account is like $45,000. And this is money we're hoping to use to do renovations and updates to the library. Speaking on renovations and updates, we are looking for suggestions from the public as to what we should be doing to improve the library, what needs to be done. If anybody has any ideas, suggestions, please provide them to one of the trustees or drop it off at the library. Another thing we're hoping to be able to spend more money on this year is programs. We want to present more programs. The last 2 years, because of COVID, we have not been able to perform or put together a lot of programs. That we hope to be able to do. And again, we're looking for suggestions on what type of programs you're interested, the public's interested in. We're open to anything, be it education, entertainment, or any other ideas you have. The other things we've done this year, a new laptop has been purchased for the use of the treasurer. This way, all the library's businesses and financial reports will be on one laptop. If anybody wants to see, we can give that laptop to a future treasurer when I retire. We've also engaged a CPA, Dan Pettis, who has offered to review our records and offer advice and help us with doing the library and make suggestions. Dan was kind enough to say that he would be able to provide this service pro bono, as long as we didn't have any exceptional big projects ahead. So, and one last thing I'd like to put out there, I want to thank the town of Easton. Town of Easton has been supporting the library for years. They're very dedicated, and we'd have trouble making it without their support. So if there's anybody has any questions or clarifications, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Well, thank you, Peter. I just will add to what you've said that our program committee has been working and has recently sent out and received their surveys back from the public. So they'll be meeting again to review the surveys and see what suggestions we get from the public from those surveys, and hopefully be able to help us guide us towards some different programming. Anybody else have any questions or comments on Peter's report? May I have a motion to accept the report, please?
Patricia moves to accept the treasurer's report.
Seconded by?
Mary Jane.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that we accept your report, Peter, and thank you very much for the whole year's worth of hard work. I know you just sent me the IRS information, and I was glad it was something that I did not have to fill out. I'm glad you filled it out instead of me. I could just read it and say, I wonder what all that means. So thank you so much for taking care of that, for taking care of our school tax forms as well, and for keeping us posted on all the work and learning your new tax system that you're using on the new computer. So appreciate the work you do for us. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
So from our treasurer's report, we'll move on to our director's report. Jennifer has a report for the community that she's going to give us now. Jennifer, if you're ready.
Okay, I am going to try to share the screen. So
ooh.
Hopefully, yes, this will work. Cliff just showed me how to do this. Okay, I think I got
Is
this.
Cliff in the background? If you help.
Yeah. All right, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so I need to somehow minimize this. Oh, okay, I need to move you guys over so I can see the words. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Hopefully technology will work. All right. Director's report to the Board of Trustees in the Easton community for the year ending December 31st, 2021. This was a year of climbing up a hill. From January to June, the library remained open to the public with COVID precautions in place. The public was allowed to enter the main door of the library, but the collections were closed for browsing. Staff monitored the number of people in the building. Most parts of the library were off limits to patrons. There was no computer or meeting room use. Staff continued to make copies, fax, and scans for patrons, and notary services were available. Normal operating hours and staff schedules stayed in effect. Midway through the month of June, the library advanced to our next service level of the COVID policy. The public could gain access to all areas of the library. Computers could be used with a reduced capacity. The meeting room was available for use. Browsing while maintaining social distancing was allowed. Programs could be held, but had to be limited in scope to take place outdoors or continue virtually online. On July 12th, the board modified our COVID policy to resume normal operations, but still abide by masking requirements. All of these stages of our well thought out planned COVID policy has kept our library open and our staff and patrons healthy. To keep children coming in the door, the library offered take and make snowman kits in the winter months. A staff member read a story, Tales of the Dairy Godmother, as an asynchronous virtual event for New York State Agricultural Literacy Week. The library collaborated with Cornell Cooperative Extension. Another collaborative event with Cornell Cooperative Extension was the Garden Kits for Kids that was held in May. This was very popular and 9 garden kits were supplied. The regularly scheduled programs of the library, such as the Mahjong group, was so excited about our opening up of the meeting room that they booked it right away. They were the first to get together for their weekly game in June at the library. There were 26 Mahjong sessions and 108 total attendance in 2021. For those of you who don't know, Mahjong is a Chinese game played with tiles. The exercise group for seniors, Osteobusters, began in September. The ladies met twice a week. This year, there have been 30 sessions with an attendance total of 158. Story Hours teachers Joanne Booth and Carol Reeve retired in the spring. Both wonderful and dedicated ladies taught preschool literacy at the library for over 10 years. As director, I was at a loss of who would fill their shoes. The goal was to have Story Hour back at the library in September, which meant advertising for just the right person or team to take over. Nadia Christie answered the ad, and it turned out to be the perfect fit for both her personal needs and the needs of the library. Story Hour began in September after being on pause for over a year. There were 14 sessions, 209 people attended total, 120 of the attendees were 0 to 5 years old. The last of our normal programs to come back to the library was the knitting group. They resumed meeting in October. There were 9 sessions and a total of 21 participants. The Tales and Tales summer reading program had 23 children register. 14 participants completed the program. 464 total books were read. There were 3 drum, dance, and sing virtual videos that were funded by a Stewart's Match grant. There were 163 asynchronous views of the videos. Our first in-person public program at the library in 17 months since the shutdown from COVID was author Matthew Whitten. He debuted his new novel, The Necklace. 8 people were in attendance. This was very exciting for everyone because it had been so long since our meeting room had been used for public events, excluding the new startup of the Osteobusters. A wonderful new experience for our library this past October was the Great Give Back, Warm Hearts and Warm Toes. Easton Library joined with Greenwich Free Library to collect brand new hats, mittens, socks, and gloves to donate to local teen and adult shelters. Our library gathered 75 items from 15 individuals. 2 final programs sponsored by the library to round out the year were a graduate student's experience with osteological analysis of Revolutionary War soldiers' feet and the traditional holiday tree decorating party. Other non-sponsored library events that took place in the meeting room in the fall were a LARAT grant opportunity seminar, the Easton Book Club, which met once in October and once in November, and the annual Friends of the Easton Library Election Day Book and Bake Sale. Attendance total to the 4 events was near 100. Our program attendance total was 785 people and 96 programs. Looking at the physical statistics of the annual report, the wonderful news is our numbers have increased in practically all areas. Excuse me. The circulation of our physical items almost doubled from 2,198 items in 2020 to 4,033 in 2021. This can be contributed to the increase of patron activity at the library. The library has had a successful summer reading program, successful story hour. There was a change in our COVID policy rules allowing patrons to browse, and addition of new neighbors who love to read. There has been a definite increase in the borrowing of items from the library as our visitor count doubled from 1,441 in 2020 to 2,443 in 2021. 2 new things were introduced to our patrons for online access. Both can be located with ease on our website. The first is a staff member of the library has created a list of genealogical records that are kept at the library. These records may only be viewed at the library and cannot go out on loan. These genealogical records are important for people interested in local history and anyone looking for family members who may have originated in Easton. Our hope is that this will make locating historical research items more efficient. They can be located by visiting our website. The second is the library subscribed to the popular on-demand film streaming service Hoopla Digital in August. It is now available for free at Easton Library. Easton Library cardholders can access over 920,000 titles, which are audiobooks, ebooks, comics, movies, and TV. Content can be streamed from any computer, television, mobile device, or platform by downloading the Hoopla Digital app for iOS, Android, Apple TV, Comcast, or Roku. All content is accessible via Hoopla Digital's mobile app and online, or it can be accessed at our website by clicking on the Hoopla button. Our registered cardholders increased from 254 in 2020 to 261 in 2021. This year, we had 3 teen volunteers and 1 adult volunteer. They accomplished various projects from making videos of the library to put on our website, working on displays, learning how the library operates, reading stories for Story Hour online, and digitizing historical documents. By the conclusion of 2021, I felt at the top of the hill. At this point, COVID numbers were on the rise again with a new variant. Overall, I have to say it was a successful year due to the circumstances. All the program participants were satisfied with the library's COVID policy for library use and programming. Everyone followed the guidelines to do their best to keep the library patrons healthy and the library relevant. I am proud of what my staff, volunteers, board members, and I have accomplished. Respectfully submitted, Jennifer DiCarlo, Director, Easton Library. I have photographs. I have author Matthew Whitten, picture of our Lara Grant seminar with Alicia Shield. There's Alexandra DiCarlo with her, giving her thesis. This is a picture of the Great Give Back, our drop-off bin, created by our staff members. And there I am with members of the Greenwich Free Library staff with our items that we collected. This is the Tales and Tales Summer Reading Program, the djembe, that was a reading incentive prize. And this is these two photographs are the book reading trackers for the participants from the Tales and Tales Summer Reading Program. And here are a couple of pictures from the annual Friends of the Easton Library Election Day Book and Bake Sale. And final picture of the Friends of the Easton Library annual tree decorating event. And there's Nadia and Mrs. Claus reading. Nadia's reading to the children. And there were a lot more children, but they were in the background. But I just wanted to capture her reading in front of the tree. And the final page is our infographics. Jack Scott at Sal's helped me put it together. And I'm going to put this on the website. And if anybody wants to study it closer, they may. And
it looks wonderful, Jennifer. Thank you so much. You did a fabulous job. It's so hard on Zoom, and that was very well done. Really nice. Thank you. And of course, thank you for all your hard work during the year. Everything you've accomplished, I agree with you. I think we did extremely well. It's been the last 3 years have been very difficult to deal with everything we've had to deal with COVID and the pandemic. So I appreciate your report very much and everything you've done. Even with what we've been restricted to, that was quite a wonderful accomplishment this year. Our numbers show more people taking out cards, more circulation. So yeah, great job. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Really nice. Any questions for Jennifer? Hearing none, we'll move on to our nominating committee. We have a trustee leaving us, Chelsea Henderson. His term has expired, and we had a nominating committee of Mary Jane Connor and Nellie Lewandowski met to form a nominating committee, and I imagine one of them would like to submit a name for nomination.
Sure, I will. Yes, Kevin Sheehan, he's here today, and we at the committee took the time to talk through a few options, and Kevin by far stood out, and we're excited to nominate him to the board today.
So we have the nomination. Nellie, I just want you to know for a moment you broke up there, so I hope I'm not cutting you off. Were you finished?
I am. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's the technology. It was just a little jumpy, and I didn't want to jump on your parade here. Okay. So hearing that Kevin Sheehan has been nominated for the Board of Trustees, I'll ask if there's anyone in the audience on Zoom or on the floor who would like to make another nomination? Hearing no other nominations from the floor, I will ask the secretary, who is Nellie, to cast one ballot for the election of Kevin Sheehan to the Board of Trustees. Nellie?
I would like to cast that one ballot for Kevin Sheehan to the Board of Trustees.
And so all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And welcome, Kevin. I know you're there somewhere.
Thank you.
It's great to have you join us, and we'll get you some information shortly about duties of the trustee and some guidelines, some advice. We'll have a trustee handbook from Sal's to share with you, and hopefully be able to meet in person and get together and talk to you about the library, and looking forward to having you join us and your help, truly. Thank you.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
Great. So moving on our agenda, I don't believe we have a Friends of the Library report. Jennifer, can you tell me if any of the friends are on the Zoom?
No one else is on Zoom.
Okay. So any comments from the public, or questions or comments from the public?
There's no public.
Okay, thank you. And so I can take a, we can adjourn if I have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Seconded by?
I can second that, Patricia.
Patricia seconding that. And all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? So then we will adjourn the annual meeting of the Easton Library Board of Trustees at this point. And Jennifer, you can stop the recording.